get you up to the speed on the latest in sports. I'm Denise Tan. The Mall of Asia Arena is ready to welcome teams from various parts of the globe for the FIBA World Cup. Marty Bautista with a story.
The SM Mall of Asia has joined in on hyping hoop fans for the FIBA World Cup. MOA lit up its famous landmark globe for the global showcase, bearing the official logo of the World Cup. It was also programmed to become a giant ball resembling the one that will be used in the Worlds. The MOA Arena will be one of the 3 venues that will host the games. First round games of Group C, which consists of the US, Jordan, Greece, and New Zealand, will be played there, as well as Group D, where Egypt, Mexico, Montenegro, and Lithuania are placed. The MOA Arena will also be the stage for the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and classification games of the World Cup. And with that, the Philippines is closer to being ready for the biggest basketball event of the year.
And I think when we were looking at how we would create huge impact, we tried to think of epic, as big as it gets. And this is what came up, right? And this is the biggest basketball installation that we can think of.
This will also surely bring more excitement to Pinoy fans given that basketball is so big in the country.
Pag manunod tayo ng sports, it's this school versus this school. It's this team versus this team. Pero Pinoy lahat. Pero for the first time in I don't know how long, we're gonna watch a game wherein lahat tayo parang isang team lang yung chine-cheer natin. Parang go! I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about all the cheers, lahat ng chant natin. Actually, pinapractice ko na sa bahay. Pinoy! Pinoy!
The MOA Arena will first be used for the matchup of Mexico and Montenegro on August 25 before the game between Egypt and Lithuania. For News 5, Marty Bautista, we are One News.
Gilas Pilipinas' final 12-man lineup will be solidified after their scheduled tune-up games starting this Friday. Gilas coach Chot Reyes had earlier said that the national team's coaching staff will meet next week to discuss the final 12. But as early as now, Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas President Al Pandillo expressed gratitude to the members of the pool for their commitment. He said the players continue to train despite the uncertainty if they will make it to the final roster. Gilas will play Ivory Coast, Montenegro, and Mexico in a series of tune-up games beginning August 18. The team has until August 23 to come up with their final World Cup roster. Classes in all levels in public schools and government work will be suspended in Metro Manila and Bulacan Province on August 25. This is to give way for the opening festivities of the FIBA World Cup, which will be held at the Philippine Arena in Bocaue, Bulacan. Work for private companies and classes in private schools are left to the discretion of their respective heads. A memo issued by Malacanang says this is the government's way to help ensuring the safe and successful conduct of the opening ceremonies. The Rain or Shine Elasto painters continue to search for their breakthrough win at the Jones Cup in Taiwan. Rain or Shine was only trailing by 3 in the final 5 minutes of the game against Qatar, but their opponents suddenly turned on the Jets on offense and zoomed to a double-digit lead down the stretch. Rain or Shine was not able to respond as a buzzer sounded with a final score of 93-86. This is the Elasto Painters' 4th loss in as many game days in the tournament. They will try to finally chalk up a win against Iran today. We're taking a timeout. The game on One News Now will return after a quick break. Stay tuned. You're still watching the game on One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. Thanks for joining us. Karting sensation William Riley Go has been tapped by the Ferarri Driver Academy for its regional selection program. Go himself made the announcement on social media saying he will be part of the Ferarri Academy's Asia Pacific and Oceania program. It will run from September 23 to 27 at the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. The Cebuano karting ace is the lone Filipino driver in the program. The selection program is where Ferrari chooses its next drivers who will be included in the Ferarri Driving Academy. The FDA is where pro team Scuderia Ferrari develops young talent with the goal of promoting one of them into their F1 team. From more than 100 applications, it was narrowed down to 25. The top 6 drivers after the 5-day event get one last shot to impress the FDA for a shot in its Scouting World Finals in October. It's official, Brazilian forward Neymar has signed with Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal after completing the transfer from Paris Saint-Germain. The Saudi Professional League made the announcement through a promotional video. Financial details were not disclosed, but the transfer was reported to be for a fee of about 90 million euros plus add-ons. Neymar was also previously reported to net 160 million euros in the process. The 31-year-old joined PSG in 2017 from Barcelona for a world record fee of 222 million euros. He scored 118 goals in 173 appearances for the French club and won 5 Ligue 1 titles. Prior to his Saudi transfer, Neymar was rumored to have a reunion with Barcelona. However, the latter's financial troubles kept this from happening. Still on football, Spain advances to its first ever FIFA Women's World Cup finals after taking down Sweden. With the game deadlock at 1 apiece, Olga Carmona struck in the 90th minute from long range. The kick pinched off the crossbar and into the goal in front of a 43,000-strong crowd at Eden Park in Auckland, New Zealand. This goal came just a couple of minutes after Sweden leveled the match. With this, Spain now awaits the winner of the other semis matchup between co-hosts Australia and England. Major global marketers such as Adidas and Nike are moving fast to adapt to shoppers' quick shifts in preference given the unpredictability of this year's FIFA Women's World Cup. More details in this Reuters video.
Sales of the Women's World Cup products have exceeded expectations. And the tournament's unpredictability means demand for team kits is hard to predict for leading sportswear companies. Brands like Adidas and Nike have had to move fast to meet shoppers' changing product preferences. The tournament in Australia and New Zealand promises to be among the most popular standalone women's sporting events ever held. FIFA expects viewing figures of around 2 billion, despite time zone differences that make it difficult for Europeans and Americans to tune in. Adidas and Nike and retailers like Dick's Sporting Goods and Fanatics have made significant investments in merchandise. Data showed that total sponsorship value grew to at least $349 million, up from $342 million at the last tournament in 2019. Online, Dick's has 76 clothing items and products tied to the 2023 US Women's National Team as of Monday. And Nike released a collection worn by the US team ahead of their first match, most of which are sold out. However, data shows that for Nike, which sponsors the US, England and others, only 8% of women's team products have sold out so far during the tournament. That's down from 13% of Nike's women's team products, which sold out during the previous tournament. Rival Adidas sponsors Sweden and Spain, who played a semi-final on Tuesday. Just over a fifth of women's team products have sold out so far over this year's tournament for Adidas, up from 8% in 2019. It's doubled its production of Germany women's team jerseys for this World Cup compared to the 2019 tournament, and nearly sold out before the team left the competition early. Marketing around the tournament's merchandise has centred largely on female empowerment, according to the chief of the UK-based industry association Women in Football. 1 in 3 women's soccer fans are new to the sport altogether. They added the fan base is largely youthful and diverse.
Get your fill of the latest in sports at onesports.ph. Meantime, the Newsday continues later at 4:30 p.m. I'll see you then. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News. Meanwhile, the FIBA World Cup starts on August 25. Support Gilas, support Team Pilipinas. Watch and buy tickets to the biggest sports event of the year. Let us all root for our team.